These are the Comic Kings.
Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Gabe P.
We are the Comic Kings.
It's a very, very happy that guy sent me that too.
Yeah, Curvin's Gene.
Yeah.
Curvin's John. I was going to shout him out. This is dope. He said he says, I appreciate all that you do for the culture. Here's the token of my appreciation. It is not from Marvel, just a longtime fan. Love the Comic Kings podcast. Love the Comic Kings podcast. Thank you, my brother, Curvin's John. He sent a Marvel Studios presents You Think You're the Only Superhero in the World, Mr. Stark. You've become a part of a bigger universe.
So dope.
And it's all the unforgettable quotes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I love.
That's amazing.
Because I love incorporating quotes into my everyday repertoire. I actually use Thanos' quote a lot.
Which one?
When Thanos tells Thor and Iron Man and Captain America at the end how he's going to have to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And he said, as long as you have people who remember what was, they'll never get used to what could be.
Yes, because that's when he was about to destroy the whole universe and start it over again.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you for that, by the way.
Yes.
That book is super dope, and I'm really excited to kind of go through all that, too.
I love that Thanos quote because it reminds me of old white men. So it's like, as long as you got old white men around, they'll constantly try to oppress and marginalize just because that's what they're used to.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I like that quote. So I'm glad I got this part of a bigger universe book. So
Definitely going
to
to put that with my comics, man.
Curvin.
Super, super dope.
But what are we here for, Gabe?
Bro, we here for a good day. It's a good day. Because a few days ago, Spider-Man was announced to be back in the MCU.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, man. Last Friday was just an amazing day. Spider-Man's back. One movie, one MCU appearance, separate from the movie for now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just a great day. It was just a great day.
I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Why? He's back now.
But it says one movie,
back.
and the one movie is not a part of the MCU?
No, it is.
It is?
So the deal is that they made a deal really quickly.
Okay.
So that way, obviously they're going to draft a longer deal, but the thing is that they made the deal quickly because the Spider-Man movies have been consistently every other year. So they kind of want to keep that vibe going. So this movie is Spider-Man 3, produced by Kevin Feige, produced by Sony, and it's coming out in 2021.
The only thing that scares me about it is the fact that Spider-Man wasn't on the original schedule when they did their release at Comic-Con.
Well, Kevin Feige did say 11 projects, but he only announced 10, and I think it was because that Spider-Man deal was still being worked out at the time.
Oh, okay. Now that makes perfect sense.
I think he meant to say 10 projects.
Got you.
But he kind of let the 11 slip because he's probably so used to, talking about Spider-Man 3 and whatnot.
Got you.
And they thought that they were going to announce it, but they didn't.
I just hope it makes sense, man. I mean, I'm with it. Like, they left us with a real big cliffhanger, for the last movie.
And the whole Blu-ray, I got the Blu-ray tomorrow, but I heard on the digital release, all the extra features are literally all of the the director, all that talking about how this movie sets up what he does next.
Yeah.
So I thought it was weird how, obviously when it happened, it was weird that they would talk about all this stuff about how his journey in the MCU, and then, the deal was done and whatnot.
I think Sony's biggest issue, outside of finances, is that they want to build this Spider-Verse.
Right.
But what I think they don't realize is the Spider-Verse that they want to build will be so much more successful if it's part of the MCU.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why separate that? I understand that. And I think Marvel, too, when you have this type of success that Disney has had with Marvel, a lot of ego and pride comes into play with other production companies and other studio heads.
Right.
And they want that for themselves. Instead of sharing the wealth with all of the Disneys and the Marvels, let's just create that on our own. No. You can't do that in the comic book world, man.
Yeah.
In the comic book world, it's better when everybody is a part of this big-ass universe.
You create the playground, you let all the characters mess around in it.
That's it.
But I think it's interesting, especially because in this quote from Kevin Feige, he said he also happens to be the only superhero with the power to cross cinematic universes. So as Sony continues to develop their own Spider-Verse, you never know what the future might hold. And that quote is I think that's especially interesting to me because as they draft this, I guess, longer contract for, I guess, whatever happens next with Spider-Man, it makes me wonder, are we going to see Venom pop up in the MCU one day? Or are they going to have Spider-Man, hop in a portal and go to the other universe and then come back? You know what I'm saying?
I saw a theory, I don't know if it was a fan theory, but they were saying, there's three, different ways that they could, get Spider-Man out of the MCU, and that was one of them. Peter Parker could just some villain could ship Peter off to some other multiverse,
right,
or some other universe,
right?
It could be the multiverse that Sony's already established with Venom and everything, and then you have I don't know, Miles Morales or somebody come.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that Marvel owns the rights to Miles Morales.
No, they Sony owns the rights. Well, Marvel owns the rights to the characters, like for the comics and for the comics and the merchandise.
Okay.
They own the rights to that, but they don't own the rights to the movie. So Sony owns all the rights to the movie characters.
Even the Miles Morales?
Even Miles Morales. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who did the cartoon?
Sony Animation, not Sony Pictures.
Got you.
Just a different part of Sony.
Got you.
But Tom Holland was supposed to appear in Into the Spider-Verse. He was supposed to have a cameo in it, but
Really?
it got canned. I think because they didn't originally set up the fact that he can jump universes yet.
Got you.
Yeah, but they also, the day before that the deal got signed, I actually have the list of the movies, all the movies that Sony was working on.
Talk to me.
They announced that a Madam Web movie was being produced. And do you know who Madam Web is?
No.
So Madam Web is the interconnecting tissue between the Spider-Verse. So back in the 90s cartoon, when they had their own little Into the Spider-Verse crossover event with like other Spider-Man from other universes, she's kind of like the person who oversees the multiverse of Spider people.
Okay.
So the whole concept behind the movie is probably so that you can start doing the little crossovers between Venom, the Into the Spider-Verse movies, Tom Holland. It's a good way to get Tom Holland to kind of like jump around. But I think that at the end of the day, like he'll be going to these other universes, but he's still going to be in the MCU because you can't just have him put him in the Venom verse and then be like, all right, I'm going to live here now. You know?
So Madam Web is kind of like the Watcher in a way?
You could say that. Yeah. Madam
Okay.
Web is kind of like a watch. She's an interdimensional type of spider person who I think it's called the Web of Life or something like that.
Gotcha.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But she kind of keeps the multiverse together in terms of the spider people.
Gotcha.
So it could be dope. I mean, the movie, she's like an old character. She's like this old lady. So I don't know how they're going to do a movie like
How
this.
could they
But
do a whole movie around her though?
I mean, the new Madam Web is this young character, this young, like, Mary Jane looking girl. So, I mean, maybe they'll do that, and that'll be interesting. But I heard Tom Holland is supposed to appear in it. That's, like, the rumor so far. But some of the other movies that they're working on, so you got Morbius next summer.
Yeah, Tyrese is in it.
Tyrese is in that. Tyrese,
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
And Tyrese actually told me, I was speaking to him a couple weeks ago. He actually told me that they doing the Morbius movie, but then it's they all have deals to do 3 other movies.
Really?
Yeah.
So
And he did say to me that it would all be in the MCU.
Whoa.
He
So we
did
just
say
got
that
that
to me.
exclusive right here. That's crazy.
Yeah, he did say that.
So he said that he's going to cross over into the MCU. You think he's lying, or you think he's telling the truth? Does he know something that nobody else knows?
I don't think he would have any reason to lie. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Who's putting out Morbius? Sony?
Sony's putting out Morbius because it's a Spider-Man character.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he did say that they're doing the Morbius movie and then they're gonna enter the MCU. But I mean, all of that's gonna intertwine though, because that's Blade.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, they need to make this deal happen because you could do a Blade versus Morbius movie down the line.
Yeah, all of that intertwines with each other.
Even if Morbius isn't good, I would still love to see Mahershala Ali as Blade versus Jared Leto as Morbius. I think that's a dope idea, and that's a great way to kind of bring the Spider-Verse more into the MCU.
Because why would they be giving Morbius his standalone movie?
Because they're just trying to build up this villain verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Venom 2 is supposed to come out next year too. Andy Serkis is directing it. The guy who played Ulysses Claus in Black Panther, he's directing it. And you know you have Woody Harrelson and Venom coming back. And I heard Spider-Man's gonna be actually have a cameo in that movie. Unlike the last Venom.
Okay.
So I think what they're doing, I think they have a plan, and I think it's an okay plan. But now it's just kind of like, all right, so y'all gonna be in the MCU or y'all gonna keep it separate?
Yeah, I don't see how they can keep it separate, man.
Because they also have, like, in this slate, they have Into the Spider-Verse 2 is being produced.
The cartoon.
There's an all-female Spider-Verse spin-off movie, so I guess another cartoon.
Spider-Gwen. Okay. Who they say made a cameo in Far From Home.
I saw that. No, at the end of Endgame, I think they had. Because there was a girl with, like a spider-looking skirt.
Yeah, my fault.
They said that they were, like, kind of teasing her.
Yep.
Craven the Hunter, which I heard was supposed to be the villain for Spider-Man 3, and I heard that he might be Wakandan. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Change that up. The Black Cat and Silver Sable movie, which I heard was also dead in the water. Silk, which is the Asian Spider-Woman.
Okay.
And Jackpot, I don't know who that is. Night Watch, Madam Web, and of course the Sinister Six movie, which they've been trying to do for years now.
Yeah, because at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, there was a rumor that they had a whole end-credit scene with the Sinister Six coming together.
At the end of what? Far From Home?
The last one.
Homecoming.
I don't fucking remember. Which one of them that had home
The one
in the
that
title?
the one that we just
Yeah,
watched.
the one
Far
that
From
had
Home.
fucking
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal. in
Yeah,
it as-
Mysterio. So
as
Far From Home.
Mysterio,
Yeah.
They said that there was an end credit scene that had the Sinister Six coming together.
Really? Where'd you hear that at?
I read that on YouTube Like, I mean, I saw the video on YouTube a while ago.
Because at the end of Homecoming, they had the scene with the Scorpion and Vulture talking too.
Yes, and they said that it was supposed to be Scorpion and Vulture, and then somebody else was supposed to come in the room, and you realize like
Bokeem Woodbine as the Shocker.
Yeah.
And then maybe Gambino as Prowler, maybe if he became the villain.
Let's pull that up real quick.
Because you know what? I think that eventually that's what they have to build to. Because that's always been Sony's end goal, whether it be the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. They've always been trying to create a Sinister Six movie for these characters. And I think, and you know, I remember, you know, Bokeem Woodbine did an interview with Angie Martinez, and I think she had asked him about his role in Homecoming and if we'd seen the last of him in the Spider-Man movie, and he said that he's not done yet.
Really?
I specifically remember him saying that he's not done as playing the Shocker.
Okay, they said this was supposed to be what the fuck? Oh shit. Hold on.
Talk to me. Oh, you got one of those pop-ups right now.
Hell yeah. Why would it do this in the middle of the goddamn podcast? How do I get this out the way?
How do you get this out the way? Let me see. Scroll. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. All right. Yes, it said Vulture. This came from Roy G575. He said he saw this mid-credit scene, and the mid-credit scene takes place in Oscorp, where a shadowy figure, probably Norman Osborn, recruits Mysterio to a growing group of villains: Vulture, Shocker, Chameleon, Scorpion. Between Mysterio and Norman Osborn, that's a whole crew for the Sinister Six. It says Vulture,
I'm hip.
And Shocker appear as modified versions of their characters in Spider-Man Homecoming. Chameleon is also in costume as in Scorpion.
Ooh, I like this.
And he further claims that the new buyer of Avengers Tower in New York, where the Sinister Six gather in the scene, is Norman Osborn. And there's a large green Oscorp logo where Stark used to be. And they added it was about 45 seconds, but I have only seen the whole clip twice. This scene obviously sets up the Sinister Six, which will probably be further explored in the MCU. So, I mean, of course, we didn't see that.
I like this.
But that was always the rumor prior.
I think what happened was when Far From Home came out, the deal wasn't signed, obviously. So they probably, even if there was an Oscorp scene in the movie, they probably took it out because they're like, why are we going to set up Avengers Tower to be Oscorp if we don't have this deal guaranteed and we could just make it the Baxter Building instead for the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy, though. I'm here for that.
It's also crazy that they aren't working on a more permanent deal.
No, they are working on a more permanent deal. It's just that they had to sign this deal really quick so that way they can start production on Spider-Man 3, because you have to realize Spider-Man 3 is like a year and a half away now. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it took them a little longer. But I can totally see, now that everybody knows who Peter Parker is, maybe it won't be Kraven the Hunter as the villain for the third movie. Maybe it'll be the Sinister Six, because now they have a reason to go after him now that they all know.
That is very true.
Because Scorpion in the post-credit scene asked Vulture if he knew who Spider-Man was. Vulture said no, but now we're at this point where everybody knows, so it's kind of like, it's fuck it, now we can go after him.
Yeah.
I think that'll be cool.
I'm here for it. Listen, man, Spider-Man's still in the MCU. Like, my only biggest reservation was that it wasn't on the original slate, but what you said made a lot of sense. Kevin Feige did announce 11 movies. That might be the
10
11th
movies
movie.
announced, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for it.
I heard another cool rumor. So since he's public now, I heard he's going to go on trial because he's, for killing Mysterio. So there's two lawyers in Marvel Comics, right?
Oh, I heard that one.
One of them is Daredevil, but Daredevil is kind of, up in the air now because of the Netflix and the rights and all that shit. But I did hear that She-Hulk might appear as his lawyer.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a heavy rumor. Don't quote me on that. But I did hear from some sources online that She-Hulk, I think I like She-Hulk more. And I like She-Hulk because She-Hulk's more up in, like, it's more like out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, Daredevil's there, you expect Daredevil, but She-Hulk is just way out there. Plus, She-Hulk's getting the TV show in 2021 or by 2021.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. When is the Spider-Man movie supposed to come out?
July of 2021, and they said that She-Hulk is part of Phase 4, so it could make sense for if they speed up the production of She-Hulk. She-Hulk could literally, just kind of like how WandaVision is going to be the leading up into Doctor Strange 2, the end of She-Hulk could her began the call like, oh, I need you to rep Spider-Man or something like that.
And I mean, She-Hulk could easily start in January or February.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Could be in the spring.
And be done by the summer.
And then be done right in time, and then Spider-Man comes out, and like the opening scene is...
Oh, that'd be hard.
You like that, right? That's kind of dope.
Hard.
I think that they're gonna that they got some they got a good plan for Spider-Man. I think that we're gonna get Spider-Man in that movie, and then he'll go off and do his thing in other universes and come back for the next big team up movie, which could be Secret Wars, and it'll be him with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and then we'll all get what we want. And then after that, I think I'll be okay. Like whatever happens to Spider-Man happens.
I don't think we see an X-Men for another 10 years, bro.
I think 5 years.
You think 5?
5 years, because I think their next big team up movie, the rumor for that is 2024 would be their next big like Endgame Infinity War team up movie. So I'm thinking by then we'll at least have the Fantastic Four and at least have mutants.
The crazy thing about the next big team up movie is like every big team up movie from here on out has to have the gravity of Infinity War and Endgame. And the reason I say that is because they're dealing with the cosmos now. So it's not these earthly threats anymore. So like when they do these team up movies, when you have it to where X-Men got to team up with Fantastic Four and got to team up with whatever new version of the Avengers we going to see, like it's got to be some heavy shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like just,
boom, just, here's Ultron.
Ultron, exactly. Yeah. That's over.
Yeah.
Like now you're dealing with hopefully the Kane the Conquerors and the motherfucking...
The Galactuses of the world.
Well, Galactus, there's no way they can do Galactus in the next 5 years.
Oh, no way. They need at least another 10 years.
Another decade.
They need at least like 3 Fantastic Four movies under their belt. And they got to go from Fantastic Four 3 to that.
Absolutely.
But speaking of third movies, this is kind of sad news, but shout out to Mikey Sutton on Facebook. He's like a leaker of a lot of Marvel news, and he actually leaked that Ant-Man isn't going to get a third movie. Not surprising because, they got Fantastic Four, they got X-Men now. But Ant-Man is probably going to be moving to Disney Plus alongside, the Winter Soldier and Falcon and whatnot.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad either. I think it's time. I love Ant-Man 1 and 2, and if they didn't get the X-Men and Fantastic Four, I'd say, okay, Ant-Man 3 is a go. I heard Ant-Man and the Young Avengers was like a title being thrown around. That would be dope. But I think at this point, Ant-Man, I want him to be around still. I still want to see him in the team-ups because Giant Man's dope, Wasp is dope. They got Ghost as a character now. Ghost is still alive. Even Goliath is still alive too. So I think it'd be cool if just do a TV show. He's got the comedy to be like a funny television show.
I think what we're about to see now is the movies made a lot of the C and B characters A characters. But now that you have access to the A characters, you can move some of those B and C characters to
Disney Plus.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause let's be for real. No disrespect to Ant-Man, great guy. No disrespect to Hawkeye, great person. But they didn't become stars.
Yeah.
Like they didn't move the A-list the way a Thor did, or the way
like the Ant-Man movies are just good movies. They're good movies. Like I enjoy them.
Great almost.
Yes, great.
You know what I mean? But nah, I can see that. That's not a bad thing for him to be on Disney Plus.
They were also gonna do a Ghost Rider series on Hulu with the guy who played Ghost Rider in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, Gabriel Luna, but they canned the Hulu show, and one of the new reports that came out was Marvel Studios might be taking up all the television roles of Marvel Television. So Marvel Television might not be making any more shows now. It might just be like, if we're making a show, it's going to be in the MCU. So they might just start doing, I don't know what else they're going to do, but I think what they're trying to set up, there's like a team in the comics where it's like Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, which obviously we know we're getting a Moon Knight show. And I think Scarlet Witch is on the team too. So I think what they're going to start setting up is like I don't even know, like a magic team.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could have been so much better.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could have been fucking amazing.
And it was cool, but I'm talking about imagine if you'd have had Fury.
Fury was in the show a few episodes.
I'm talking about
Maria Hill was in a few episodes.
Widow, Black Widow, and Hawkeye.
I think the best season they had was the Ghost Rider series. Was like the season where they had Ghost Rider. I think that was like their best season. Then after that, I stopped watching because Ghost Rider was dope. They killed Ghost Rider, but it was just so expensive for television.
Was he Latino?
Yes, he was. He was the second Ghost Rider. He wasn't the biker guy that Nicolas Cage played. Johnny Cage. He wasn't not Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage is Mortal Kombat.
I'm sorry. But he wasn't the first Ghost Rider. He was the second Ghost Rider. Yeah. So, and it was cool. His story was cool. I just, I kind of wish they kept him for the movies, So I think it'll be interesting to see if Kevin Feige, why the show got canceled wasn't for like budget reasons. It was because Kevin Feige wants him.
Gotcha.
We want the coming. Also, this week we got Joker coming out. Are you going to go see Joker?
I am going to go see Joker. I actually watched Shazam on the plane.
You watched Shazam on the plane? What'd you think?
Shazam
Honestly, opinion. What'd you think?
It was good garbage.
Okay, I like Shazam.
It was good garbage. It wasn't like whack, but it's like
Ant-Man. That's how I look at it.
It's a good plane movie.
Yeah.
No, Ant-Man's way better than Shazam. Stop
it's on the
right
same.
Now.
No, it's on the same level as the first Ant-Man.
No
for me.
way.
Ant-Man 1 and Shazam are literally the same level for me.
No, man. Ant-Man 1 was good. Shazam, I mean, by the way, Shazam 1 wasn't bad. I watched it and I was like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was cool. I just don't like how DC does their universe. You bring Spider-Man at the end and you got Aquaman t-shirts and Batman weapons.
Well, they're
like,
not going to make another team-up movie, so they have to at least pretend that it's the same universe now.
I just hate it's so stupid to me. Like, I just feel like they did DC. I just feel like they did the DC universe so terrible. And I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Clearly, they're going to try to make the universe again.
I mean, they're trying, you know?
I don't know.
Speaking of excitement, Suicide Squad, James Gunn, starting to produce that. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited because James Gunn's doing it.
And Idris Elba, Pete Davidson, John Cena.
Pete is in it?
Pete is in it.
Playing what?
They didn't say it. It's just a list of people A few weeks ago, James Gunn put out a list of people, and it says don't get too attached, and there's like huge names on there. So you just assume that most of these people are going to be dead. But Viola Davis is coming back as Amanda Waller. Margot Robbie's coming back as Harley Quinn. Jai Courtney's coming back, Captain Boomerang. You're going to have Idris Elba playing a character that we don't know yet. Pete Davidson's in it. John Cena's in it. Rick Flag, the actor who played Rick Flag, is coming back. So I think that James Gunn, you can't do no wrong. I think that movie's going to be great. I don't know who Idris Elba is playing, but I'm excited for it, or who Pete Davidson is playing, but I think that's going to be good.
I'm interested.
And then right after he's done with that, he's back on Guardians 3, and then we got Guardians 3. So 2 back-to-back hits from James Gunn.
I'm interested in it because it's James Gunn.
They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back.
Yeah.
I think that they're gonna do. So you're gonna go see Joker this week.
I'm definitely going. I mean, I've always liked the Joker though. The Joker's always been a character that I've liked in the DC universe.
I heard that this Joker movie's crazy. It doesn't look that crazy from like the outside, from like the trailers, but like I heard that once you get into it.
I'm shocked DC is just doing a Joker movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's shocking. I think it's about, you know, it's just
because I just think his origin is so ill, and I don't think they ever really capture that in Batman films.
And it's not even a DCEU movie. It's just like a standalone, you know, Joker movie. I think they're just gonna do one too. And it's perfect time because Comic-Con's this weekend. It's just
I'm there. I'm very interested in seeing the Joker movie.
All right, so we'll come back and we'll talk about the Joker movie because I'm gonna go see it this week too. And
let's do it.
Hopefully it fucks me up a little bit because I need a good comic book movie since we don't have one until next year.
I'm telling you, not till Black Widow.
Not till Black Widow. We have like 200 days until Black Widow. We're counting down.
Oh, did you hear that rumor?
What? Hit me with the Black Widow rumor.
Because you know Robert Downey Jr.
We didn't talk about that.
Cameo.
Yeah.
And they're saying, I think they're saying that they were talking about the scene in Endgame that got deleted where Robert Downey Jr. was in that realm talking to his like older daughter.
Okay.
And I think they were saying that's the Soul Stone realm or something like that.
Yes.
And somehow or another, he's giving his life for Black Widow.
I don't think. No, I think what this scene is. I think because you know how this movie takes place after Civil War, right? This movie takes place right after Civil War, right before Infinity War. I think what that scene is so they, you know how they recorded like, you know, at the end they at a what's it called, at the Avengers compound. He was there with Black Widow and they said that they're gonna come for you and then whatever, and then she went on the run. I think it's just gonna be like a deleted scene from Civil War, and that's what we're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? And then also, did you see what was the scene? The deleted scene from Iron Man 1 where Nick Fury talks about the X-Men and Spider-Man?
Yes, I did. He said it's mutants.
Can you believe? You fucking believe what
that
the universe
smart,
would
though.
be? I mean, if they got the rights to it by then, I get why they did that. They were probably plotting on trying to get the rights back, and then they didn't, and then they just switched out the scene.
By the way, by saying that, I mean that don't mean that had to happen in the past 10 years.
Not at all.
That's just letting you know that all that exists.
And you know what? Now's a good set. They probably are allowed to release it now because they have the rights and all that. You found the story.
Yes.
What's the story say?
It says Smart Hulk was not able to go back and resurrect Natasha Romanoff in Avengers Endgame through time travel. However, there have been other theories floating around as how the character could come back for the Black Widow movie. Okay. And they say the latest leaked photos from the set, this was back in June.
Okay.
She was in a lake with something red in her hands, which some people are assuming is the Reality Stone.
Whoa.
And said, could Captain America have gone back and resurrected her before going to live his life with Peggy Carter using the Reality Stone?
So what this article is basically saying is that the end of the movie is just going to be her jumping forward in time.
Maybe. They just saying it's entirely possible that Captain America could have done some trickery to bring her back to the current timeline or possibly placing her somewhere else.
Whoa. That's insane.
And I mean, you know, she's died in the comics and come back.
Yeah, because he has the time stone, so maybe he could have. Well, I didn't even think that was a possibility because I was wondering how they were going to set up what the point of. No offense. I want a Black Widow movie. I do. Yes. I do want a Black Widow movie. I'm very interested. It's Taskmaster's in it. There's a lot of dope characters that are in her comics that are going to be introduced in this movie, but I didn't understand the point of doing it now. Like, if you did it 3 years ago, I'd be like, I get the point. But now it's kind of like, even Kevin Feige was like, all these movies set up what's going to happen in the future. And the Black Widow movie was the only movie in those moving parts that I didn't really understand what was going to happen, how that movie fit into the bigger picture.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not just doing that for diversity's sake.
Yeah, because I know that there's a new girl in the movie who is the second Black Widow in the comics. So I just assumed that this movie was for the old Black Widow to kind of get her swan song and get her movie and then be out of the MCU, and then they would basically set up this new girl to be the new Black Widow at some point in the future. But now that you say that, it makes me wonder if they're going to bring Black Widow back.
And they talk about the Gamora aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like how the Gamora that's in the MCU now is the Gamora from the past.
Right.
So they could possibly do the same thing with Black Widow.
That's a good theory. I didn't see that. I didn't even think about that. That's dope.
And they say it's a set image where she was at a funeral. So we'll see.
We'll see.
You know?
I mean, I hope, but if it's just, if we're done with Black Widow after this movie, I'm okay. They'll have a new Black Widow in the MCU eventually with this, whoever this new girl is. I'm interested in finding out more about her character. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to Black Widow, seeing David Harbour as he is the Russian Captain America.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at the poster, it's not that hard to see, but I'll show you after. You see him, he's in like his own Captain America getup, but he's like the Russian Captain America. Red Guardian is his name. Wow. That's his name, Red Guardian. So he's going to be playing, the guy from Stranger Things is going to be playing Red Guardian, and he's going to be basically just the Russian Cap. And I heard that there's going to be a little sprinkle of like Captain America ideals in there, and he's going to talk about him, and then we're going to get Taskmaster as the villain. I think it's just going to be an overall good movie because they got a lot of cool characters in it. And it's not just Black Widow. For all the people who didn't want to see a Black Widow movie, there'll be some other shit in there.
And they said she attended a funeral. Like they had scenes from the set where she was at a funeral, and they're contemplating whose funeral was it.
It can't be Tony's because she wasn't there for that.
Yeah,
obviously.
They're not going to do a Black Widow for no reason.
Yeah, there has to be.
You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a bigger purpose.
Feige does everything for a reason, so I think whatever the reason is, and whatever he's going so hard for Black Widow right now, because he even got like the Black Widow hats, he got everybody wearing them.
Yeah.
So I think that the movie's definitely going to serve a bigger purpose. It's just I wonder what they're setting up with Black Widow.
And the first movie out of Phase 5?
And Phase 5 is a Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Weird, man.
We'll see.
You got us, Feige. I'm hooked. 200 something days. We'll be back to talk about Joker in our next episode. It's Comic Kings.
Yes, sir.
See y'all next time.